Hey everyone, my name is Dan and welcome to my channel. This is going to be the first in what will be a new series of video reviews that I'm going to do. I think I'm going to call it Is It Worth It? Basically these are just going to be my quick thoughts and opinions about various games, telling you what I liked and what I didn't like about them. Most of them will probably be about new releases or games released within the last few months or so. Today I want to talk about Horizon Zero Dawn. I know I'm a bit late to the party, but I just recently finished it and I wanted to discuss it. Horizon Zero Dawn is an open-world exclusive for the PS4 developed by Guerrilla Games, who were originally best known for the Killzone series of first-person shooters. This game takes place hundreds of years in the future on Earth, after an apocalyptic event has occurred. Machines that resemble animals roam the land, and humanity has reverted back to a tribe and hunter-gatherer type of lifestyle. The new world has its own history and cultures that are mostly disconnected from the time that came before. No one truly knows what the origins of the machines are. The plot centers on Aloy, who has grown up as an orphan, cast out from her village by her tribe. Early in the game, Aloy falls into ruins of the old world, which is essentially a near-future version of our real world, and she discovers an object known as the Focus. By way of it, she's able to connect with the technology of the past and perceive the environment much more keenly than others. And this leads to Aloy's investigation into what is the central mystery of the game. Where did the machines come from, and how did the world end up in its current state? First, I'll talk about what I didn't like so much about Horizon, kind of a bad news first sort of thing. The side quests and activities, they were somewhat of a mixed bag. A few of them featured engaging elements and fun gameplay, while others followed the same formula. You talk to someone, scan an area, follow some footprints, and you ultimately fight a machine or some human enemies, and then rinse and repeat for a couple different side quests. And speaking of the human enemies, I didn't really like fighting them too much, especially with the juxtaposition of fighting it against the machines. Really, the human enemies, they were much less interesting to fight against. And Horizon does borrow many elements from other games, and some of them aren't too exciting. It has towers that you can climb to reveal parts of the map, reminiscent of Assassin's Creed, although the twist here is that there are large roaming machines, which I guess is a little bit of a breath of fresh air, but it's still not that interesting. It's still more or less the same thing as other games. And another thing is that there are outposts of human enemies to clear out, but I feel like other games in the past have done this better, like the Far Cry series, for example. So now let's talk about what I liked about Horizon. Aloy, she's a great protagonist who is strong, witty, and courageous, and the main plot that revolves around her as well as the history of the world, it moves along at a steady pace, revealing secrets continuously throughout. Overall, the main story is pretty intriguing, and it kept me interested to see what new information would be revealed next. Most of the characters that Aloy meets on the main story progression, they feel like real people, and not just generic NPCs. The dialogue between them and Aloy feels natural, and the voice acting is well done. They feel part of a larger world, and they each have their own story, concerns, and history. The combat mechanics are what really shine in Horizon Zero Dawn. Taking on the various machines is an intense experience, and it forces you to be on your toes at all times. Many of the larger machines can defeat Aloy in just one or two hits, and to counter this, she could scan each of them with her focus device that I mentioned before to reveal their weak spots, and they glow on the machines for a brief time, showing you where they're weak and what their elemental weaknesses might be. And it's all about analyzing the situation and deciding on the best course of action before you engage in combat. There's also the option to use stealth and take out groups of enemies without being seen, which is personally something I always lean towards in games that offer the option. This can be achieved in Horizon via sneak attacks that either kill outright or do high damage to bigger enemies, or you could perform quick hits to critical areas like getting headshots on human enemies, or you could set traps and lure enemies into them. Another thing that I liked is that there's a good sense of progression when leveling up Aloy. At the beginning of the game, she starts with just a simple bow and arrow, but later on her arsenal grows stronger with various types of projectile weapons that can shoot arrows that have different effects on the machines, such as elemental statuses, like you could set them on fire, shock them, or freeze them, or you could even rip off pieces of their armor with each hit with certain types of arrows. And there are also many perks that you can unlock with skill points as you level up Aloy, such as the ability to knock down machines with her spear or perform a critical hit on them when they're stunned. Of course, if you guys have seen any footage of the game or if you've already played the game yourself, it goes without saying that Horizon Zero Dawn's visuals are nothing short of beautiful. I could easily say that these are probably the best graphics that we've seen as of yet on the PS4. The combination of all the different areas of the game, whether it's snowy forests or grassy areas or desert terrains, with the various mechanical villages and regions, or not villages, but caves sort of that you go into, mechanical caves with metal walls and automatic doors and better technology and whatnot. It really all makes the game stunning, the combination of all of it. And I personally played the game on the PS4 Pro upscaled to 4K resolution. There's also the photo mode, which is a fun little addition. I mean, it's been in other games, but it complements the visuals here in Horizon Zero Dawn because they're so stunning that being able to pause the game, add filters, and take screenshots and share them with your friends, post them on Twitter or whatever. It's a cool little feature. So overall, I'd say that Horizon Zero Dawn is an expertly crafted open world game. The main characters are great, it's fun to communicate with them, the graphics are spectacular, and the combat features intense battles that are fun and crazy enough to make me want to come back again and again. They're never quite the same each time. There's some little nuance that's always different about them. Aloy's a great protagonist, and learning about her backstory and the overall history of the world was pretty thrilling and interesting. And if you have a PS4 or you plan on getting one and you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn yet, I think you owe it to yourself to pick up this game. Guerrilla Games has set a very high standard for new and exclusive games on the PS4, and I'd say for open world games in general too. Alright, so that wraps up this video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments and what you thought about Horizon Zero Dawn as well. Have you played it already, or are you planning on getting it? If you did play it, what did you think about it? What are some positives and negatives you have to say? And what was your overall impression of the game? Be sure to stay tuned to my channel for more of these types of videos and a bunch of other stuff that I have planned in the near future. I hope you will, and I'll see you all next time.